Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to My Life in Engineering, episode 3. I'm going to be running down how, I make a beat on Machine 2, Native Instruments Machine 2, and the steps in order to create that beat. Now, keep in mind, this is not going to be the best beat ever, but I'm just going to go over the simple things that I do in order to make a beat pretty quickly. And before I do that, I'm going to let you know what gear I'm using in order to get this whole podcast running currently, because it's a lot different than what I did the past 2 episodes. The past 2 episodes I did, a simple USB mic running into my iPhone using, using the camera adapter that has the little USB port in order to plug my microphone into it. Right now, I'm kind of going a little more intricate and using a Roland VS880EX mixer. That's from like the 90s, late 90s. I want to say like 98. I'm running all my audio into that and going into a Mixmeister, an Ion Mixmeister, going into my iPhone while I'm doing a screen capture of, what I'm currently doing on my iPad Pro with Machine. And my Machine's audio is actually, or my iPad Pro's audio, rather, is going into the Roland 8880EX mixer. And hit me up if you want more info on that. I'll tell you exactly what adapters I used and how I was able to create all that stuff. But right now, let's just get started. I'm going to get started in making this beat. I'm going to start with a simple chord progression. Right now, I'm going to use that sound. And right now, I don't know what the heck that weird effect tail is coming from. I'm not too sure. But I'm just going to roll with it. I'm going to keep going. It's kind of a weird effect, but it's going to have to work. As you can see there, as you can hear, actually, that's the beat pads right there. Okay, so let's start with a simple chord progression. I'm going to actually turn down this the audio on the iPad right now. All right. So first thing you want to do, obviously, is kind of get a good idea on like what the tempo is going to be. Right now I have it set to 140. I have my click track enabled and everything, so I can make sure that I'll be on beat. And you could actually make a choice if you want to quantize automatically. You could actually add a swing. If you wanted a little more or less on the grid, you can add swing to it, so you kind of get a better feel, more human feel, I guess. But right now, okay, I'm going to start recording the chord progression real quick. And it's going to be a simple 4-chord progression. And it's actually in, actually, let's put in C minor. I'm going to put in C minor. All right, starting right now. Alright, so that's going to be the beginning part. Just no drums, just straight up just chords. And what I'm doing right now, I'm just copying that, portion, because obviously I'm going to lay some drum tracks on top of it. And it's going to go a little bit something like this, okay? Actually, for this part, I think I'm just going to go with a simple just like kick in the beginning. That's going to be the beginning part right there. And for this one, I'm just going to make a new drum for this portion. If you're watching it, it's a little more easier to see it, obviously. But if you're just listening to it, just kind of just follow along. Try to follow along with your Maschine 2 app. All right, so right now I'm going to delete. I'm going to make a new drum beat, because you get like 4 slots to make drums. It could be various like lengths and bars. So right now I'm going to make a new beat to lay up on top of that chord progression. Okay, because that's leading in. The first part I just did is leading into that. And I guess I want to make this a verse. That could be a verse right now. All right, and it's going to go like this. So I just recorded that part right now. So that's going to be like 1/4 done in the verse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that and lay on some like hi-hats. Maybe not that one. That's kind of whack. I can't figure out what the hell that noise is, but okay, let's do like 8th notes and just letting you guys know like some of the functions over here. I'm just gonna run through it real quick. This little icon, like the hourglass, hourglass, magnifying glass. You can search for, your samples, like your created samples. You can search through the library that, Native Instrument offers. You can also change the drum kit, as you can see here. This little scroll down menu. Right now I'm using the Getting Dirty kit. And this one right here, this little screen right here, it's kind of like a graph or whatever icon, whatever you want to call it. You can actually change your note values. So if you want like a quarter note hi-hats or a snare or whatever, like on your pad, you just hold it down and it does quarter notes perfectly in time. Or you could do eighth notes. Or you want the trap feel, you're going to be doing like 16 notes and then 132 notes. See right there. Some cool shit right there. But for this beat, I'm just going to do like an 8th note running on top of the beat I already just did. Oh shit, what the hell am I doing? Okay. All right, we're going to do that. 8th notes, hi-hats. As you can see, that bass drum is out of time. But what, fuck it. And I think those hi-hats are a little too loud. So you can actually change the volume if you'd like for each individual pad on your drum kit. So like right now I'm gonna lower the volume. You can actually tune your sound too if you want. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and pan this hi-hat, because usually hi-hats don't belong in the middle of the mix. So I'm gonna go ahead and pan it. And you know what? I think I'm gonna fix that beat. I'm gonna fix the beat. All right, we're just gonna erase this and do it all over again. Sorry, guys. Gonna clear that. I just want to make sure it's on beat. And as you can see, I went a little too long in that beat, and it ended up being 16 bars. So I'm just going to chop it up and make it to 8 bars. And hopefully it's in time. Let's go ahead and take a listen. Okay. Fuck. I don't know why I'm fucking up right now, but bear with me. I'm gonna try it again. 2, 3, 4. That should be it right there. Hopefully. Throwing a little like bar there. Let's listen to it again. Could definitely do better. All right, one more time. I took the click out. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to take the click out because, well, if you're like one of those drummers that are just perfectly on time all the time, then you can do that. But I'm not that kind of drummer. So. That should be it now, hopefully. Alright. Just for the sake, you know, I had one note in there that was like kind of not on time, but, you know, I'm just going to keep going. Fuck it. Right? Because this is my show. I do whatever the fuck I want, and I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. So right now we're just gonna. Actually, I'm gonna delete this right here because that one's like the bad take. And okay, so we're gonna copy that, and then for that little note right there or that section, I'm just gonna add a hi-hat. Okay. Ready? 2, 3, 4. Fuck it. And then we're just gonna add some swing. Make it a little more human, you know? I'm actually using a different hi-hat this time, so we're gonna go ahead and pad that. We'll lower the volume right here. I think I'm gonna keep it where it's at as far as tuning goes. Alright, so for this next section, go to this next section, and this is where the beat kind of just like takes off with the 16 note hi-hats. So we're just gonna fuck with that right now. And at this point, you know, you don't really need to click because well, at least for me, you don't really need the click because the hi-hat is basically the click. It's going in 8th notes, and that's more than enough time, or more than enough for me to be on time. All right, so we're going to do 16 notes on that. Maybe occasionally adding a open hat into the mix on the and counts. All right, so this is going to go like this. 2, 3, 4. Do that. I'm just going to audition this real quick. Make sure I take off the 16 note. Alright, so I'm going to try that again. I'm going to lay this open hi-hat on top of what I just did. So I just did that. And as you can see, I'm actually out of slots for this particular pad. If I really wanted to, I could expand that and use this instrument slot to change it to pads. But for the sake of, just starting out, I'm just not going to do that and just deal with the limitations that I have. So right now, I'm just going to copy what I did twice, and that will be essentially the hook part. And okay, I'm actually going to lay out some leads on top of this. And the cool part about Maschine 2 and other, sequence software, at least like newer ones, you can actually set the scale of whatever you want. Say like the key of C, and then you can do like minor or major, or there's tons of options. Shit, I actually did not know that they had more scales on Maschine 2. That's crazy. I've always kept it at either like a major, minor, or harmonic minor, or major pentatonic. But you know what? We're gonna do minor, C minor, just like what we just did. And okay, so we did C minor. I just wanted to clarify that. And I'm just gonna throw in like a lead in there. It's not gonna be the best lead ever, for the hook, but fuck it, for the sake of like learning and showing you guys how to do it. I think it's more than enough. Actually, I'm not going to copy this, or I'm going to delete this part because, 1 second. Yeah, it's an 8 bar section, and I'm going to turn it into a 16. So if I just keep recording, it's just going to keep going. So fuck it. All right, and I don't need to click, obviously. So I'm going to start right now. Now, what the fuck was that? It's in chord mode. All right, I got to take it out of chord mode. So if you're doing your leads, ideally you don't want to put it in chord mode, or at least for me. But music, you don't really have to go with the rules. I mean, there's some rules you have to go by, but a lot of times, like, if you want to get a little more creative with it, you got to break those fucking rules. But today, I'm not going to do that. All right. Oh, what the fuck am I doing? Oh, I'm on the wrong one. My bad. Okay, there we go. Just going to clarify. Okay. Oh, I see what's going on here. Okay. I gotta erase whatever I just did. Okay. There you go. Okay, so I had stuff going on this track that I recorded and I forgot to delete. So I'm just gonna go here. God damn it, all these fucking texts right now. What the fuck? I am trying to make a fucking podcast. Stop texting me right now. I'll be back to you later. God damn it. All right. that's going to be the hook lead. I could probably turn it up to just a tad bit. You know, I'm going to add some delay into it too. Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to go over. Yeah, let's go ahead and mute that. Okay, I'm just going to mute all that. All right, so I didn't go over that you get two effects, and they're actually global. So whatever parameters that you have for that certain effect, if you enable it on, you know, one of the tracks. So like, for instance, you got reverb, right? Notice how this is not grayed out. If you hit that, then now your drums are going to have reverb, and so on and so forth. The one thing I don't like is you can't like individually tweak how much reverb that you want, at least to my knowledge, for each individual track. It has to be global no matter what. And you know, obviously I got a delay effect on that lead, so it sounds like that. So right here. Oh shit, I don't have it looped. That shit is not on time. But yeah, you pretty much get the gist of it. And obviously you can get a little more creative on you know, how you're structuring the beat. You could also import what you just did, and I'm going to show you, you know, what you can do as far as importing or exporting the audio or the track that you just did, so you can actually bring it into another DAW or doing all that stuff. Doing all that stuff, you know, that stuff and that thing and that thing. I sound like a crazy person right now. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, you can mix it down to whatever, as you can see, like current scene, like whatever scene I have selected, you know, I can mix that down, or I can do entire track. And one thing I found that was useful that isn't like officially, you know, part of this. Oh shit, looks like I'm running out of time. All right, and we're back. All right, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to export your audio. All right, so I got the current scene selected, right? And if I wanted to, I could turn it into a wave or M4A, hit share. And right now it's just rendering things out, rendering the track out. And if you really wanted to, you can airdrop it to someone. You have tons of little options, you know. You can also import them to like Luma Fusion if you're like trying to edit that into a video. Or you could also import it into another DAW, so you can further, you know, mix down the track, which is something I do here and there, you know, as far as using Cubasis. Fucking awesome app, you know, $49.99. It's pretty expensive for a fucking app, but it's the top DAW, I want to say, in my opinion, on iOS. And yeah. Oh, another thing I want to share with you guys, to make file management on iOS almost like a computer. It's not really the same, obviously. It does have its restraints, but if you get stuff like audio share, audio copy, documents, and obviously you got Apple's Files app, it's going to make the whole integration from going from, being a Windows or Mac OS, drum maker or a beat maker or producer or whatever, a lot more seamless if you get all those apps. But yeah, so what I'm showing you is that there's tons of options on where you can send your track, and yeah, it's fucking awesome. I love it. And what I do, I have my cloud, 200 gigs worth of cloud space. What I do when I'm out and about and I get like inspired, I pull from my cloud wherever I'm at, because I have all my samples, I have all my assets, my digital assets in the cloud. So wherever I go, I can just get creative. And that's the great part of, using iOS, or you don't even have to use iOS. I guess you can be an Android user and use some of the apps that they have. But it's definitely doable, and Henny the business, definitely inspired me on taking my production mobile completely. And I don't think I'm going to go back. I think that's the way of the future. But yeah, I'm just going to a tangent right now. Well, I guess it's not really a tangent, but anyways, that will conclude my show. And I'm just like fucking with this shit. It's cool. All right, I'm just going to play that beat start to finish. And you know what? This does not belong here. Fuck. That doesn't belong there either. And the lead doesn't belong there either. So I'm going to play it start to finish. It's not the best beat ever, but fuck it. I don't know why there's no beat. Right there, okay. Yeah. That's it. Okay. That's it. That's it for the show, man. That's it for the motherfucking show, man. We made that beat in about 10 minutes. Stop complaining, it took a little bit longer because I was explaining shit. Are you tracking? I don't even know. But are you tracking? Hopefully you're tracking. And here's the motherfucking that is about to be. I don't know. That's it. That's all I got for you guys. Hopefully you learned something out of it. Hopefully I inspired you to invest in the beat making software, Maschine 2, as well as other apps that I talked about earlier. This isn't a paid advertisement for any of that shit. I just want to kind of share the apps that I use for my productions. And oh yeah, one last thing. Luma Fusion, get it. Okay, if you're a video editor, get it. It's a $20 app, well worth it. It's like the closest thing that you can get to Adobe Premiere Pro on your iOS device. And it works for your phone too, and your iPads and pretty much all that stuff. So, all right, that's all I got for you guys. Till next time. Later.